1045 The Team, your home for Yankees baseball. And thanks to our friends at Tech East Fire and Water Restoration, your best way back to normal. Visit them online at tefirewater.com. Our good friend Buster Olney is with us right now. And Buster, I've been totally Twitter stalking you, and I'm going to get to that. But last night, I may have snuck out for a few adult beverages. Me and a Red Sox fan get into it. Mookie Betts or Didi Gregorius, you've got to vote on the MVP of the American League right now. Who gets your vote?
You're not going to want to hear it. Okay?
Oh!
I would vote for Mookie Betts as of today. Look, 22 extra base hits, 13 walks, and 13 strikeouts. He's at a different level right now from where he was even a couple of years ago when he finished, second in the MVP voting to Mike Trout. Back in January, Alex Cora, our old friend who worked with us at ESPN, is now the manager of the Red Sox, went to lunch with him and said, Mookie, the one thing on the other side of the field, when I was working with the Astros, we felt like you were really passive early in the count, that you basically would let the pitcher get ahead. Why not look to do damage on pitches early in the count? Why not look to ambush some pitches? And Mookie, at the beginning of spring training, really struggled with it. But toward the end of spring training, he started to get the hang of it. And, man, he's just crushing the ball. I was looking at it today. His hard hit rate on baseballs has been about 31 to 35%. This year it's at 48.8%. And I texted with Alex last night, and he said, man, he is looking to do damage, and he is not missing. So sorry about that. Yeah. I would pick Mookie over Didi.
It was, in trying to be as non-biased as possible, when he hit the second home run Wednesday against the Royals, and you just see the look on the pitcher's face of like, what do I do? Like, how do I not have this happen? I had to laugh at that.
Yeah, and I mean, he's that good right now. He's that locked in, and and here's the thing too. I mean, there's no doubt that this is a phenomenal athlete who is very smart and very devoted to the idea of fixing problems, and this is going to continue through his career.
Buster Olney with us right now. And Buster, I saw your Twitter. I think it was Thursday morning. The 11-1 record in the last couple games for the Yankees, and they outscored their opponents 73-20.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. And it feels like I was around the Yankees last weekend and talking with those guys and talking with the Angels players about them. It definitely feels like that this team, like a lot of teams in the Northeast and the Midwest, played in cold weather for so long that now that they're playing at better temperatures, they're really heating up. And it definitely feels like that a lot of the other hitters are sort of working off of what Aaron Judge does. And, we focus so much on Aaron Judge and his size. I really think that, he's kind of like an American League version of Joey Votto and what a technician he is and how much he cares about the strike zone. You wonder how much of him is rubbed off in Didi Gregorius and giving himself a chance to get ahead in the count. I mean, you mentioned the numbers that they put up over the last 12 games, 73-20 they've outscored their opponents. And here's the thing, all those games are against good teams, right? Blue Jays, the Minnesota Twins, then the Angels, and then the Astros. It's been a remarkable turn. And Giancarlo Stanton, for all of his, the ugliness in his first month with the Yankees, he's on a pace as of today to accumulate 119 runs and 75 extra base hits. It's absolutely crazy.
Now, what do they do for the future now of Clinton Frazier in that outfield?
Well, to me, it's an easy solution. He doesn't have a place to play on a regular basis. And if you have a young player, you have to make sure that they're playing and getting a chance to develop. And the fact is that as we get closer to the trade deadline, no matter who pops up, whether it's, a Madison Bumgarner, and I don't think that would happen, but, or a Patrick Corbin of the Diamondbacks, or fill in the blank, the Yankees will be at the top of the list in terms of having the best package of prospects that they could work from, and I think Clint Frazier would be one of those guys.
Buster Olney with us thanks to Tech East Fire and Water Restoration. Buster, that kind of brings up my next question. As I watch how good the Astros are, how in the world did Garrett Cole not end up in pinstripes?
Because the Yankees didn't want to give up Miguel Andujar, and that really is what it came down to. They had talked about doing some different things, and I think they would have definitely been willing to give up Clint Frazier, but they did not want to give up Andujar. and pay that price. And I can tell you this, is that when the terms of the Astros-Pirates deal came down, the Yankees felt like, well, you know what, we feel like actually our offer was better than what the Astros offered, but in the end it really comes down to what the Pirates value. And that's why the trade was made, and I didn't get any sense. I haven't gotten any sense of regrets from the Yankees that they weren't the team to get Garrett Cole.
Let's go to the other New York team, Jacob deGrom. Same old snake-bit Mets with this injury?
You hope not. Boy, I love to watch him pitch, and that's why it was so striking last night after he suffered the discomfort in his elbow that as he was coming off the mound after throwing that fourth inning, just the body language was so bad, where his head was down. You could see he was wincing. He says to Dave Island, the pitching coach, I'm done. Sort of walks through the dugout, again, head down, and puts his glove on his head like, oh, my God. So what a relief today to hear from the Mets that the doctors have checked him out, and they're hoping he can make his next start. I suspect that they'll be so incredibly careful that he may not actually make that start on Monday. He's supposed to play catch tomorrow. That's what Mickey Callaway said, and they'll evaluate him at that time. And you hope that he's not another guy in a long history of Mets where, the guys, it's unfair of me to say misdiagnosed, but let's face it, they've had so many medical situations in the past where they say, yeah, we think he's good, and then it turns out they're not. And you hope that he's not another case of that.
Buster with us right now. And Buster, it's funny because we have a lot of listeners who are Mets fans and friends who are Mets fans. And any time a guy is remotely hurt, like Cespedes slides wrong, DeGrom gets a tweaked arm here and there, it's like, oh, here we go, it's all over.
No doubt about it.
Right?
That is absolutely the culture. In fact, in the last 24 hours, I've heard from so many friends who are Mets fans, like, what do you hear on DeGrom? When is this surgery scheduled for? All that, because they just assume it's going to go badly, and that is a long history which feeds into that cynicism.
Yeah, they're the Eeyores of the sports world.
Yep, 100%.
Yesterday, Levack and I touched on the story involving Indians pitcher Trevor Bauer. Can you tell us more about what this whole thing is involving him and other pitchers in the league?
Yeah, and this is not something that just popped up in the last 48 hours. Sometime early in April, a friend of his who he works with in the off season, mentioned on Twitter that when you see increased spin rate like Garrett Cole's had this year, there can only be one of two reasons, either PEDs, and I'm paraphrasing here, either PEDs or pine tar. And Trevor jumped into that conversation and talked about how he's got, it's a good thing I have morals in observing this. And it popped up again the last 48 hours. And when I saw it, my reaction was, man, this is like someone complaining about jaywalking in the current culture of baseball. Because every game you watch, you will see pitchers who are using foreign substances out in the open. In every game, you'll see pitchers with that area just below their glove that's shaved on the back of the wrist, and it's all glistening because it's covered with sunscreen. And Major League Baseball knows about this, and managers know about it, and umpires know about it, and it involves hundreds and hundreds of pitchers, which is why I was surprised that he made it a big deal. Now, later, yesterday, Trevor put out a tweet saying, here's my statement on it. I didn't mean anything against the Astros or anybody in particular. Look, I just don't believe that because it's focused around Garrett Cole, who, by the way, was his college teammate.
Oh.
And I've never asked Trevor or Garrett about their relationship, but everything I hear is that it wasn't great, which is why A.J. Hinch, the Astros manager, when this was brought up to him the other day, referenced a personal thing. And I do wonder if that's really what it comes down to. I do think Trevor makes a point. I've written a column about this, that you wish Major League Baseball would just change the rule. But I know I've been told by people in management that they feel like the problem is it's very difficult to write a rule that would make everybody happy about foreign substances. But every game, pitchers are using this stuff.
Buster, this is Drone Boy Trevor Bauer. I'm mad because Garrett Cole stole my drone in college.
Oh, boy. And here's the thing. I mean, Trevor, I think he's really smart. I've enjoyed talking with him. There's no doubt that, and it's been well documented, he's rubbed people the wrong way.
He's a different kind of dude.
The Diamondbacks, he's a different kind of guy. The Diamondbacks had him on their team, and they got rid of him quickly because other veterans on the team were complaining about him.
I mean, that's big league athletics. You get enough people in a locker room, sooner or later somebody's not going to like
100%. That's exactly right. I tell friends all the time when they ask about clubhouses, and I say, look, there are 25 guys on a team, and it's like any office where you like, out of the 25, you like 15, you don't care about 8, and 2 of them you hate.
Well, I mean, there's just 2 of us in this room, and I don't really like the people I work with.
Hey,
Buster,
this is me. What are you talking?
Buster, where you headed this weekend?
I'm headed to St. Louis. We have the Cubs and Cardinals on Sunday Night Baseball.
That's just old school, real world baseball right there. That's
It's
a great
old
trip.
school and good matchup. We got John Lester pitching. It looks like
that's great. As long as there's no, as long as he doesn't feel anything, throw it to first. Everything will be fine.
Wow. See, we're going to have to pick up that conversation another time because I can tell you this: he's a lot better than what people realize.
I look forward. Maybe there's a tease for next week. We'll lead with John Lester. Buster, man, thank you so much. Safe travels.
Okay.